Hello everybody. Welcome back to Baking Soda Central, the place where we research and think about the power of baking soda, especially as it pertains to us now in COVID-19. Last time we were talking about pH in modern research and how we have been learning several times that pH is an important factor in viral entry. What did we know back then in Spanish flu days? Well, it turns out they knew quite a lot about it. They understood pH. They had their litmus, they understood base and acidity and its impact on health, and that it could be a determiner in treatment. What they didn't know was, they didn't know about the virus, that it was a virus. They thought it was a germ. However, let's head back that direction in time, heading back towards Spanish flu days. And on our way there, we'll take a stop at 1947 and comment on this compendium put out by Walter Bastido, which catalogs the medicines and the therapeutics that were available at that time. 1947, he states that bicarbonate of soda is the #1 drug used in America for many things. How did it get that status, and how was it known for that versatility? So let's keep going back in time. We're going to go back to 1848 when two brothers, brothers-in-law, figured out how to make sodium bicarbonate as a process, which they produced in their kitchen, single element, safe for baking. This was revolutionary because then women, bakers, did not just spend all day with their yeast figuring out their recipes. As time went on, they discovered that this product, which everybody was now getting in their houses, was useful for many things, cleaning, but it had medicinal qualities. By the time the Spanish flu came along, it was fairly well established as a medical item, as a medicine, and even on the box of Arm & Hammer, it said at that time, according to what your physician recommends, you could be taking 1/4 teaspoon in water in the morning, or a full teaspoon in half a glass of water, hot water, as a cleansing gargle. So it was very popular. It was in everybody's house. Let's keep that in mind when we talk about what directives were given to people during the Spanish flu. Now these days we have directives. We're told to keep away, wash our hands, keep the distance, keep away from the disease, and wait. But that gap in between, that large gap, during the Spanish flu days, people were told by whatever means, keep yourself, fight this disease. And people used, there were a lot of medicines recommended. It really served as a large trial for what worked against an influenza virus. This was not an unnoticeable disease. This was a dreadful disease where, especially the second wave, people turned blue and blood came from all over. And they noticed what worked and what didn't work because it was very clear. So let's have a look at what some of the directives were, because they were in newspapers, they were on, in front of the theater, people were given directions. So here's one: help fight the flu, put out by the State Department of Connecticut and the Council of Defense, in which it states, fresh air and sunshine. There's a novel idea. Keep away from crowded places. Keep away from sneezers and coughers. Keep your mouth and teeth clean. Doesn't say how. Warn ship workers. Seattle. Keep away from crowds. Keep away from theaters and movie shows and large gatherings of people. And carry a clean pocket handkerchief with you, and when using the same, do not flap it about. Keep the nostrils and other breathing passages clean 3 times a day. Irrigate the nose and use as a gargle a solution made up of the following: 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in 6 ounces of water. So there they're giving how they recommend keeping it clean. 10 Commandments of the flu. This one from Oklahoma. Caution without hysteria. Keep homes aired, well aired, opening doors and windows for an hour. 3. Use a nasal and throat spray or wash every day. For this purpose, Dobell solution or even a solution of common baking soda may be used. Now, Dobell's was baking soda, salt, and borax. Stay out in the open, sleep in the open as much as possible. How about this one from Belgium? I am not going to read it to you in Belgium. 6, stay in bed, no visitors, eat well, keep the environment clean. All gatherings and meetings, close the schools. Number 8, gargolen met decarbonated water. Now, I know I butchered that, but it is saying gargle with bicarbonated water, which of course was baking soda. So why don't we get a number 8? Where are these directives in our list? Chicago. Doctors say daily soda gargles will avert the flu as a preventative against a reoccurrence here of the deadly influenza pandemic. From last year, a prominent physician recommends daily gargles of hot soda water, ordinary baking soda dissolved in hot water. Now they're getting into second, third. They've had the experience, and these doctors worked in military camps and around the country are telling people what they should be doing. Now, it wasn't universal. They were still trying to instruct people. I thought we should listen in on a conversation with 2 doctors, and we're going to go down the Hall of Fame here at Baking Soda House and Central, and we're going to come to the other end of this nice orange sofa here and check in on a conversation. I don't think these gentlemen had the hat. Here we go. All right. Wait, I've got to dial. Now, did they have long distance back then? I'm not sure. I know these doctors rode to each other, but let's turn it into a phone call. Yes, hello. Yes, Dr. Griffith. Yes. Josiah, this is Ray up here in Gloucestershire. Yes, how's Nellie? Oh, glad you hear that. Listen, old boy, I've got to tell you, we're having a terrible time with this flu up here, but we have a solution. Yes, we do. We are using, I don't know if you are, we are using bicarbonate of soda. Yes, that's the wrong accent, sorry. Bicarbonate of soda, it is common baking soda. Yes, I had a whole tenement full sick people in. We put everybody in baking soda. Those who were not sick, they did not contract the disease, the others got better. That is right. That is the thing. You know, alkalinity, acidosis, all that stuff. Yes, that's what we're working with here. Yes, that will fix it. So you make sure you tell your colleagues and get that in the newspaper. Yes, we're counting on you. Talk soon. Love to Nellie. Thank you. So that's how that conversation went. And Dr. Griffith got that in the newspaper. He got it in a lot of newspapers, and they started doing it such that 7 weeks later, a new article appeared in the newspaper. Kansas Post got sent all over to other Kansas newspapers. I'll read some of it for you here. Influenza, the remedy, expertise of Kansas City. Can you see that? Kansas City physicians, since the outbreak of the influenza epidemic, have convinced them that there's a simple remedy that rarely fails, and that when it does, the victim has used the preventive has only a slight attack. It's also used as a treatment for the disease. The remedy is a solution of water and common baking soda, a teaspoon to be taken several times daily, preferably between meals. Doctors differ in the amounts of soda that should be used. A government formula says a half teaspoon in a glass of boiled water. So this was the conclusion after they had tried a bunch of different things, and they'd followed that directive from what they got from up north. Now, this was not isolated either. This story, as the flu goes on, and at the end of the flu, you see stories appear in the newspapers, medical journals, other publications, that they were using bicarbonate of soda. And so much so that the producers of the bicarb, which was the big product in the company that did it in North America, started producing medical booklets 1922, they put out their first. Now, they used to just have good eats. They used to have recipes, tips for cleaning motorists, little romantic stories. But now they have a medicinal book, a proven medicinal agent. And in there, there's star stories right at the beginning. Spanish flu, public health doctors said this was the preventative and cure, gave the same prescription as we just saw there. It's repeated a second time under a cure for influenza or colds. And these booklets were written, several versions of them, for 4 decades. And nobody complained. Nobody said, no, that's not true. Because others had seen it and they believed it and they practiced it. Now, if you wonder why your grandparents used baking soda and why they talked about it, this is it. And this was not just North American. I think that their story went farther. My neighbors from Cameroon, the beginning of the pandemic, her mother called, Chérie, il faut commencer le bicarbe. Oh, c'est trop salé, je ne l'aime pas. Alors, de rien, de la miel, un peu. Alors, il faut le bicarbe. So, from other places, Africa, around the world, the story of bicarbonate was passed around. And in our next episode, we're going to bring it up to the present day and see how bicarbonate, how baking soda is faring in our present day situation, and consider the fact that influenza virus and coronaviruses are both pH dependent. They both need that little acidic environment to flourish. I think that this story is the most important story to come out of the Spanish flu. We think a lot of people died, there wasn't anything. They tried a lot of things, and at the end, they had things to say about it, and we should be paying attention to that this time round. Talk on next time.